Well, hello people of the world, and by that I mean Jaguar lovers, Jaguar car lovers that is, and in particular the Jaguar XJS. Hi, I'm Curtis from jacobyjaguars.com, and this is part 24 of my blog/vlog. In case you're wondering why you haven't seen parts 1 to 23 on YouTube or Instagram, you'll find that my preferred way of communication was via the written word on Blogger. That's no longer the case. I'm transitioning to modern technology, unlike the Jaguar XJS. This episode is around the origins of this blog and why it exists. It exists because of my enthusiasm for the Jaguar XJS. My introduction to Jaguars was as a child, riding in my father's 1967 S-Type, the first car that I was a passenger in over 100 miles an hour, which was very exciting. I learned to drive on a Jaguar XJ6, not your usual learner vehicle. I spent many years driving with my father around Europe in his Jaguar XJ6s and became quite accustomed to long distances in a very comfortable touring car. What we found was that people were always pleased to see a Jaguar wherever you were in the world. As you probably know, the E-Type had been running for quite some number of years before the XJS came out, and the XJS was not an immediate success. The fuel consumption was dire, and this really wasn't fixed until the HE, or high efficiency engine, was introduced, which improved fuel consumption to let's say an acceptable level. What really got me interested in the XJS was the 5.3 V12 engine. It really is a peach. It spins like a turbine. It is so smooth when it's running properly. Many do not run properly. It's quite difficult to determine whether any of those 12 cylinders isn't firing properly. It's easy when you know how, but if you don't know, you wouldn't necessarily notice it when you were driving. But when it runs smoothly, you can balance the proverbial £1 coin on its edge, on the top of the engine, and it's rock steady. What I was more interested in was seeing really what you could do with a Jaguar XJS with 5.3 litres of power. So I decided that the route I'd like to take was in classic rally. That isn't just a tour around the country, there are speed tests as well. So the car really has to perform all sorts of duties, from trundling along at 30 miles an hour to going flat out on basically a rally stage. I managed to acquire a 5.3 XJS shortly before COVID. COVID lockdown gave me plenty of opportunity to fix the multitude of problems with the car, but at the end of it, we had a fully functioning, albeit nascent, rally car. We started our first events. We did miserably for many of them before we understood A, how to navigate effectively, and B, how to drive the car rapidly. My initial work on the XJS has led me to work on several other XJSs, all 5.3 litre V12s, and surprisingly, all in the same Arctic blue colour. This is just a coincidence, not by design. So at the moment I have 3 XJSs in work. One is the rally car, which will never be out of work because an event always takes something out of the car. An XJSC Cabriolet, and another XJS full convertible. The XJSC was really only fit for the breaker's yard, but it was a favourite of mine. It's a very, very rare car, far rarer than any E-Type, and probably the rarest of all the Jaguar XJSs. I didn't want to commit it to the breakers, so I did commit myself to the hours and hours of welding and fabrication and more welding that were required to bring this beautiful car back to life.